I know. Listen, I get it. It's been a minute since I've been on here, but okay, listen. I discovered Golden Girls. I just binged a lot of it. I'd also been wearing quite a bit of makeup recently when filming, so I just wanted to take a little bit of a break and give my skin a rest. Lay in bed, do nothing, it's quarantine. But anyway, welcome back to Quarantine with Molly. So excited to have you here again. Today I am bringing you this no makeup look. Obviously there is makeup on my face, but it's in a more natural way that is really approachable, that is really wearable and everyday friendly. So even if you guys don't wear a ton of makeup and you just want to put a little something extra on to be polished, or you're just like a super natural gal, this is the look for you. If you guys also haven't realized by now, I am posting all of these videos on my Instagram right here. Go ahead, I'll wait. If you want to take a look and see them all in the same place, they're all on my IGTV, and if not, I'll post a couple to Facebook, and I think I might start a YouTube channel for all of those videos I kind of want to make that I don't think a majority of you will care to watch, including things like product recommendations, product empties video, aka things that I've just used all up, which I've been doing a lot in quarantine. But if you guys are interested, then I will definitely let you know when I make said YouTube channel, and if not, I hope that you at least enjoy this. So without further ado, let's get into the natural makeup look. The first step to a natural makeup look for me is to make a sort of a tinted moisturizer for myself. This is really something you only need to do if you're experiencing redness in your face. If you have a generally pretty even skin tone, you could probably even skip this step and just do the concealing that I'm gonna do. But because I have a little bit of redness, I don't know how much the camera picks that up, but like I see it, I'm gonna go in with the L'Oreal Infallible Freshwear Foundation. This one is in the shade 420, and I'm gonna mix it with my moisturizer. So this is the Ombriolis moisturizer. So you're just gonna put, a little bit of moisturizer. I grabbed maybe like a hair too much with a tiny bit. So I'm only gonna do like almost a full pump of my foundation. Mix it together in my hands, and you can see that it's more dispersing it, so it's going to take down the coverage of that foundation, and it's gonna allow it to go a much longer way. And I'm just gonna use my hands to rub this into my face. Keep in mind, if you're doing this method too, that the moisturizer you're adding in is going to sheer out not only the coverage but the color, so you might want to choose something to mix in with it that is either slightly deeper than your normal skin color or exactly the same. And if you don't have foundation and you only have concealer, you can do the exact same thing with your concealer. Just make sure that the concealer is, again, either the same shade as your skin or just slightly deeper. So you can see it added a really nice glow to the skin, but it didn't add a ton of coverage. I do have some spots from acne, obviously, that it didn't cover, so I'll go in and spot conceal those. But if you don't have any other issues besides maybe just a little bit of discoloration, this is the only step that you need to do. Next up, I'm going to take a concealer. This is the Tarte Shape Tape. It's a very high coverage concealer, but we're not putting this everywhere. We're literally just going to conceal in little pinpoints any red spots or dark marks that you might have on your face. You can absolutely use the doe foot applicator to apply the product to any spots you have, but I actually prefer to use a small brush just like this one. It allows me to control the product a lot better that I'm putting on my face so that I'm not getting too much. Just grab a little on your brush. And now I'm going to go in on any of those red spots or demarcations that I see and just pinpoint conceal them. So the next part's really important, and it's letting that concealer sit on your skin for a couple of minutes so that it has time to just dry in place a little bit. This is gonna help keep the coverage on your spots, and when you go back in, obviously, to blend that concealer out a little bit, it's gonna make it so that it's not completely taking away the coverage of the spot that you just covered. Because we really just went in with little teeny tiny dots of concealer. Next up is your under eyes. So if you suffer from really dark circles underneath your eyes, I really like products like this. This is the Becca Under Eye Brightener in the shade Light, and I've used a lot of this. I use this all the time when I do weddings on even people who don't have like really bad under eyes, because it just immediately lifts that area. So if you don't have this, don't worry about it, but I want to show you how it works because I'm just obsessed with it. So you just pop a little bit right underneath. It's pretty thick, so you don't want to go crazy. And I'm just using my finger. If you have fair enough skin, you could also do this in place of concealer. It's pink, obviously, but it doesn't necessarily look super pink if you have the right skin tone. Obviously it's pink, so if it doesn't work with your skin tone or you have more golden undertone, you'll definitely be able to tell and want to put a little concealer over it. But if you have light enough skin with a pink undertone, you could even use this like in place of a concealer without doing a lot to cover it. All right, we're a little bit more lifted. Now you could just stop here with the under eyes. You don't have to go on and put a concealer on top, but for those of you who don't have an under eye corrector, or for those of you who can't just wear the corrector because it's a little bit too pink, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna take a concealer. This is just the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I'm just putting a tiny bit under the eyes. Remember, we don't need it anywhere else on our face because we did that tinted moisturizer and the spot concealing. Then I'm just gonna take my finger and I'm just gonna pat it in. Take a little bit over your eyelid as well if you have lots of veins or discolored eyelids. A really easy trick to figure out what your skin undertone is if you're trying to figure out how can I pick a foundation color or a concealer color is to actually look at the veins on your wrist. If your veins appear more of a blue tone, that means you have a cool or a pink undertone to your skin. If they appear more green, it means that you have a more golden or yellow undertone. And if you have a combination of both, that means you have a neutral undertone. So those concealer spots have been sitting for a little while now, so we're gonna go in and gently buff them out. Now you can use just your finger for this part, or I'm gonna take this small brush. It's a little bit fluffy, and I'm gonna go around the edges of those dots I made and just do it in like a stippling pressing motion because we don't want to disrupt the product that we put there. Of course, sometimes your fingers are your best tools because of their natural heat. They'll also be really good at just melting that makeup into your skin for an even more seamless finish. So now you can see our face has concealed all of those little spots that I had. Next up, I'm gonna go in and do my eyebrows. You can do your brows however you want, whatever your natural brow routine is, but keeping with something that's a little bit softer because we don't have enough makeup on the rest of our face to support like a really strong brow. Once your brows are done, we're gonna move on to the other part of the face, which is adding a little bit of color back in. Now, if you have a lot of redness to your face and you didn't do the foundation step, you can probably skip this, but if you did a little bit of spot concealing and you did the evening out with a tinted moisturizer, I like to add back in just a little bit of color to the areas that I want it to be. I'm just using a cream blush, and this is the Glossier Cloud Paints, and I'm just putting a tiny little bit, and that one was more of a neutral shade, so then I also take a tiny dot of a more pink tone and I'm gonna mix them together. Obviously you could just do one cream blush, you don't need to be extra like I am. We're just going to dot them on our cheeks, and then I'm gonna take a slightly damp beauty blender sponge and I'm just going to pounce on top of it. You can also use just a different clean finger to blend it in. I am gonna apply just a little bit of powder to my eyelids because I wanna make sure that there's no creasing because I did put a little bit of concealer on top of them. If you crease underneath your eyes as well and you put some products under there, I would set just that area with a tiny bit of powder. Now we're gonna curl our eyelashes and apply a lot of mascara. if you're like me and you tend to get mascara all over your eyelids, go ahead and wait for it to dry after you're done applying your mascara. And then you're gonna use this little spoolie guy right here, and you're going to just rub it back and forth, and it will flick off any of that excess mascara without disrupting the concealer that's already on your eyes. Apply a little lip balm. Here's the final look. And there you go, you guys, a super easy, really quick makeup look. It's a really great beginner-friendly look because you don't need to have a lot of skill to do any of these. And honestly, you don't need a lot of tools. Most of this you could probably do with your fingers and a sponge. Obviously, I used 1 or 2 brushes, but just use what you have at home. I hope you guys enjoyed this look. I know it was super easy and quick and fast, but maybe you found a couple of useful tips and tricks in here for the things that you can find at your house that won't include, you know, false lashes like I wear every day. As always, stay healthy, stay safe, stay positive, and stay inside. Love you guys. Bye.